right, we've come to the phrasing part of our course, and you might wonder, why did I put phrasing at the end? You think, phrasing, that's where we play slow, that's where we do simple things, and why did I put all these complicated advanced techniques before it? And that's because I think phrasing needs everything. I think phrasing is a combination of slow things and fast things and quiet things and loud things and stops and lots of playing, and it's the finished product. It's all the things all the musical ingredients put together finally into music. And the main thing, because you know a lot of notes now and you know a lot of places to put your fingers, is I want to talk about rhythm. And rhythm, in a way, is invisible. It's harder to see rhythm than it is to see notes. If we want to look at an A note, we can see one here. If we want to look at a G note, we can look at it right there. But how do you see the and of three? And you can hear the end of three, 1 and 2 and 3, and that's where it is. But, and of course you can write it, but I'm not much of a sight reader, so I need a way to have these rhythmic accent and rhythmic ideas in a way where I can access them. And I think the best way to do that, to build that rhythmic vocabulary, is to practice rhythms. Now, when I say rhythm, a lot of times guitar players will think, oh, that means rhythm guitar. That means I'm going to play chords, or I'm going to play something chunky down low, like this is a rhythm. I want to play solo. But the solo I just played also had a rhythmic structure. And that's what I want to talk about. No matter how low or high the note is that you play, it has the potential of having a rhythmic structure. And I hope that you put one in, because that's going to make your note a lot more powerful. And where do we find these structures? Well, you can just make them up in your head. One metaphor I like to use is the bongos. I'll turn my guitar over and just pretend that instead of guitar, all I've got is bongos. And the first thing I need a tempo. So let's say my song is going at this tempo. Next thing I need is a key. Say it's an A. Something like that. Just cooking along in A, medium tempo, and suddenly someone takes away my guitar and all I've got is a set of bongos. What do I do? Well, the first thing I could do is I could just go the same tempo as the foot. At least I know I'm in time. And then I add some notes to it. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I kind of stylized those notes. I slid into one. That was the first one. And the others I hit staccato, and I kind of hit them hard. Now that sounds a lot different than... So I'm already putting some stylistic things in there to make my bongo solo into something interesting. But let's try some other things. Let's try some syncopations. If we went... That's in between the beats. So I could go like... All those notes were in between the beat. Now, if you only choose one or the other, it might not be so interesting. So it's nice to have a combination. So let's do some downbeats and some syncopations. I'll just think one up. If I go... That's 3 downbeats and a couple syncopations after it. So I could go... Just adding notes. I could try other notes as well, but keep the rhythm the same. I'm going to do that one again because I want to get that bend. Even those bends can be in time. Now still, that's really playing slow. So I want to add some eighth notes, which would be... But I don't want to do continuous eighth notes because my ear gets worn out. I'm going to do a couple eighth notes and maybe a couple syncopations. I could go... So that's... da-da-da-da-da. All right, so this is where we come up with the rhythms. Now we can even do triplets, like... That's kind of a cool one. Or maybe the slower triplets. We could go like... That's triplet, 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 like that. Let's try that, and let's see, just do this by themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have so many rhythmic tools. Let's try some more. Let's go faster. Let's do, we did the eighth notes. Let's do some 16ths. We'll go, but I'll just do a couple and then stop. Like, that's kind of cool. 2 16th note phrases and a triplet. So da 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 da. Let's try that. So let's see if I go. All right. So this is an example of how to think like a bongo player and add the notes that you already know, using the techniques that you already know to make phrases. And I think this is one of the most valuable ways you could ever practice, is taking the, you're using the tools that we've built up throughout this course, but now we're starting to use them to improvise and to phrase. And the way to do that is to have a good rhythmic vocabulary. And how do you build it? Just take simple rhythms and search through all the notes that you know and see which notes fit that rhythm. Another way to do it, and this is a great way, is find your favorite rhythms inside songs that you know. You know, you might take a song, this is a tune I like, it goes 1, 2, 3. Now let's just take the rhythm of that. It starts on the and of 3, which is a really interesting place to start. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and. That's the pure rhythm with all the notes taken out. Now, I'm going to just try some simple notes using that rhythm, strictly. I don't want to improvise with it at all. I want to do that exact rhythm. 1, 2, 3, but my own notes. Now, that's only one idea. I can take that rhythm and do a lot of different ideas. 1, 2, 3. What you'll find is you'll run out of phrases and you'll be very motivated to build more. And there's lots in there. There's so many phrases. If you just pick a rhythm, you can find endless cool phrases to do. And this is really the way to use a scale and make it come alive, is to add rhythmic structure to it.